Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Lever.
Place your bets. We got the roulette wheel, and I got Fast Eddie talking to lady. You got to put it either on the line or off the line. You can't do both. Look, was I born yesterday? Who are you talking to? Sir, it's binary. It's either red or black. Just pick a side. All right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. Around and around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Sometimes it stops on Olivas. You feel like a house of fire. Sometimes it stops on Breakwell. You feel like your house is literally on fire. Sometimes it stops on Wrong and Wronger, and you get the best of both worlds because sometimes a little Olivas can cancel out a lot of bad Breakwell. And tonight, folks, tonight you get to decide which of us is indeed the better man because I'm here, Steve Olivas, Dr. Steve, and I'm with that dude, the Exploding Unicorn, James Breakwell. And James, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing because I have the magic of mathematics on my side.
You know what you have also on your side is the cloak of darkness and secrecy as you changed up the voting process. Explain to everybody why this was a giant cluster from square one.
It's like the Wright brothers. You can't complain that the first plane didn't, cross the Atlantic, okay? You got to listen. You be there. Hey, stupid Wright brothers. Why don't you just walk everywhere? What are you doing? So I attempted to take flight, and rather than putting the poll out in front of the unwashed masses who don't actually listen to the podcast, I put it in a walled garden where you actually had to watch a video in order to vote. And vote people did. Do you know how many people voted?
No.
And you're too nervous to guess. You don't know if you should go high or low. It turns out you can change your vote. So I just experimented with it on there. And on YouTube, I switched it back and forth. And every time I changed my vote, it changed by 3%. So only 33 people voted there. On Facebook, I moved it back and forth, and it changed it by 5%. Only 20 people voted on Facebook. So you can take this one of two ways.
Okay.
Either it was a disaster and people who otherwise would have voted and watched went away, or we really only have 55 listeners anyway, and they just finally got their due. So it's all open to interpretation.
Well, a just dumpster fire of an idea might be primo in my mind. The part that was aggravating was you didn't tell me you were going to do this. So I'm getting confused followers and listeners who are confusing me with their confusing questions. And as it turns out, Breakwell went rogue on this one, made a unilateral decision, as Breakwell is prone to do. And so I don't even know how to interpret this.
I am going to say that the results bear out that I won, so that's really all that matters here.
Why didn't you give me a heads up beforehand?
I just discovered it late at night. I was like, oh, I can put in a poll on Facebook. I wonder if I can do that on YouTube. And sure enough, I could. And I thought, well, let's just try this because we don't have any money invested in this project. There's no stakes. Nobody listens anyway. Why not try an experiment? And I'm sorry that your 9 fans got upset. I don't think I got any angry feedback. I might have got it for one person, but one of my pet peeves is angry feedback about free podcasts, and I instantly mute anybody who complains.
Wow.
So most of my life on podcasts is complaint free. I just go on a cloud. It's wonderful.
So,
wonderful, Steve.
Constructive criticism, not something that you open yourself to.
I can go with constructive criticism, but it's always something snarky like, yeah, I'm not wasting my time with that. Like something along those lines. And it's just like, you know what? Yeah, it's free content in the first place. Waste your time however you want. And I don't care if you don't waste your time on it. I just don't need you to come personally tell me that you're not going to waste your time. And I'll see that 33 votes were cast, and I'll know that people didn't waste their time on it. I don't need you to rub my face in it. So yeah, I use that mute button liberally, which there's probably like 50 comments in every video just ripping us apart, and I just never see them. And that is how I live my life.
Wow. in just a perfumed cloud of blissful ignorance.
Yes. I muted you years ago. It's been spectacular.
Well, that. Man, you didn't even need therapy after that. That just wiped all the problems out in your life. But we did get all thumbs up again this week. And so I was delighted. And there were it's interesting you say we had 33 people cast a vote. I think we got like 31 thumbs ups this week. So it seems like everybody who was there participated beaucoup.
The people who could figure out how to vote really enjoyed voting. So we've got that going for us.
And I'll say this, the feedback wasn't snarky. It was more befuddled.
Yeah, I probably won't do that again. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave the poll in and also do a poll on Twitter. I mean, we all agree that the polls are meaningless. I mean, I win every week. It really doesn't matter what it says on there. But I make solid arguments. Sometimes people vote for you because they're trolls or they're confused. I mean, seriously, how many of your followers were just befuddled by YouTube, a technology that's been around for like 10 years, and it just they just couldn't figure it out.
This is why people don't like you. This is
what?
It. Right here. All right. Well, and you've always had a poll on Facebook, yeah?
No, I started that way later than the other poll. I mean, for years, or not for years, but for months, we didn't do any kind of a poll at all. Right. And we kind of, I mean, let's not pretend like this is something that's been set in stone from the start. We have mixed up our formula constantly, bouncing from one failure to the next. We have never found anything that gives us traction, but yet we're still here trying new things. And I tried, Steve, because I wasn't ready to give up on us. Well, I wasn't ready to give up on me. I gave up on you years ago.
Sure.
So that's where we're at.
Sure. But we're like Siamese podcasters. We are attached at the phone. So whatever star you hitch your wagon to, I'm going to end up being pulled along for the ride, much to your chagrin. But all right, so my only complaint was you didn't tell me ahead of time. So if you tell me, I usually bless it by not really caring one way or the other.
It's the same form of approval I get from my wife.
Well, speaking of approval and not caring one way or the other, we do argue about stuff that most people don't care about publicly, but do care deeply about privately. And what are we going to argue this evening, James?
We've got a good one. We are going to argue which is better, diet soda or regular soda.
Ooh, and some people say, namely the makers of diet soda, that you can't tell the difference. But we'll find out in a second. We flip the Guam quarter of fate to find out who argues which. And James, what do the sides represent for you?
Heads, I'm doing regular. Tails, I'm doing diet.
All right. Heads is regular, tails is diet. It is up, it is down, and it is heads. You, sir, have regular soft drinks.
Well, that's wonderful, but I believe we need to compliment each other first.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
See, we had so much time burned up in the intro there. I forgot all about I have to write down that I have diet or I'm going to forget in the next 2 minutes. Well, fortunately for me, you're always the one who compliments me first. And so let me just open the floor to you, the distinguished gentleman from Indianapolis.
I would like to compliment you. Man, I complimented your wife last week. I've complimented so many things. I would like to compliment you for having a son who looks nothing like you. You know, thank goodness for that boy. He dodged a bullet. Like, you have a reasonable looking child. I'm pretty sure he's not yours, but I saw the picture getting ready for hockey, all dressed up in a suit. I was like, man, that kid dodged all of Steve Olivas' genes, every single one of them. You might as well have just picked him up in the lost and found somewhere. So I would like to congratulate you on having a child who is not going to be held back by the severe facial handicaps that have limited your life.
First of all, I used to have a beautiful flowing head of hair like he does. So he's taken after his old man with the hairdo. I used to get a spiral perm like heavy metal guys have. I had long hair past my shoulders. Oh, James, it was a simpler time, man. But now I'm ravaged by the hands of time and old age, and I just can't do it because nothing is sadder than a bald guy with a halo perm. But James, for you.
Yes.
I've got to compliment the fact that you recognize, despite the fact that you seem to wall yourself off from any kind of constructive feedback people give you to try to better your lives. And I noticed after you shaved the beard, you took a little crap on Twitter for it, that you're starting to grow the beard back. And so you are going to join the category of distinguished bearded gentlemen once again.
It's part of the same experimentation that I'm doing on YouTube and Facebook. I'm just trying to make life better in general. So I'm trying to find the right length. A little bit shorter than this, and my wife complains that my face is like sandpaper. And rather than being 5 feet away from her, I have to stay 15 feet away from her. But if it gets too long, it hides my chiseled facial features, and I'm going to lose.
God.
I'm going to lose out on the half a person who likes to follow me for my looks. So it's a fine balancing act. I think I would like to keep it a little bit shorter than it is right now, but we'll see. It's up for debate what the final length will be, but it will not be the full length beard of before, because I can't go back to those days, Steve. I just can't go back.
Well, I'm hearing a beard or no beard debate for Breakwell next week.
Yes, well, our 30 votes will fall to 2.
And I ain't going to be one of them, I'll tell you that right now. Well, we are arguing diet and regular soft drinks, and you have regular and I have diet, and I would like to hear how you're going to frame this losing argument in the age of obesity and diabetes. What do you have to say for yourself, James?
Food has calories. That's how food works. I don't want some weird science project that's never been fully studied to figure out what the long-term effects are. I want soda, just regular soda, which, by the way, I normally call pop, but every time my wife hears me say pop, there's a fight, and I'm not going to deal with it. She will never listen to this podcast, but she might hear me from 2 floors up, and I can't deal with that right now. So we're going to call it soda for this debate that I'm about to win. But yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it gives you calories. That's okay. You just drink it in moderation, just like everything else. Pork chops have calories. You don't eat 55 of them in a row. You eat 1 pork chop at a meal, maybe 1.5 or 2 if you're feeling wild. You have to have some self-control, which can be challenging sometimes because regular pop is so delicious. Like you can't, it hits the taste buds in all the right way. I mean, let's put it this way. If diet really tasted the same as regular pop, there would only be diet pop. They would just get rid of the regular pop, but they can't, because even people who are worried about calories, the one thing they have to admit is that regular soda tastes better. It has real sugar or real cornstarch or whatever is in there. It has flavor that they have never been able to match with a diet drink. If they could match it, they would just eliminate the main one, just call it, everything would be diet, and nobody would complain and everybody would be happy with it. But that's not the way the world works. And even, in places where they're banning 75-ounce drinks and all of that, not one place has gone so far as to ban regular soda, despite the calories. And you know why? Because there would be riots in the street. People would burn down City Hall because it is the last bastion of flavor, the last guilty pleasure you can enjoy in the world right there. They got rid of smoking, they got rid of everything else that's unhealthy, but we've still got regular soda. And as long as you enjoy it like a reasonable human being, and fit it in with your normal 2,000 calorie a day diet, it is perfectly fine. It is a little gulp of happiness every day. And why do you want to take us away from it with your crazy health food regulations, Steve? Why?
Whew. Well, I was able to catch a nap in there, James. So thank God you stopped talking. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We are out of time, and you are probably out of patience for this podcast. James, pop is the noise that it makes when you open the cap. Pop isn't something you drink. Pop is something you call your father in the Midwest. Like,
wrong debate, Steve. Wrong debate.
What do you have against the English language, James? You know what else is really tasty is bacon fat. Like, I don't know how much of that we need to eat and still call ourselves healthy and have any pride. But now diet soda gives you the opportunity to have a little bit of soda, just a little nip, just a little taste of soda throughout the day. And don't worry about it going to your waistline. Some of us are still watching our girlish figures, James. They're not like you, laying around sedentary with their lives. And frankly, not all the chemicals are bad. Sure, they killed a monkey during lab testing, but frankly, it was only 72% of the rats died of some form of weird hematoma or brain cancer. Like, some of them lived. Why can't we be some of those people, James, that are going to live through this? And frankly, if diet soft drinks shave years off of our lives, they're the years we don't want to be around for anyway. The Alzheimer's years, the dementia years, the years where we would be drooling like regular soft drinks onto ours. Nah, diet soft drinks, bam, take care of all of that for us. Our family members don't have to worry about supporting us ad infinitum. They're actually a blessing to society, James. But It's diet soft drink. For people that don't want the calories, people who have some diabetes. I joked about diabetes earlier, but some people can't handle the sugar. They need a little insulin injection. Diet soft drinks don't trick that. They trick our body into thinking we're having something wholesome. And by this point, I'm fairly certain the chemicals gotta be healthy, right? They wouldn't be putting them out there otherwise. We can trust the government.
I gotta say that I respect your strategy. Like, I can never predict what you're gonna do. Because the logical thing for you to do would be from the start to say that diet soda's healthy. But instead, you took this weird meandering track where it's like, well, it only kills most animals and it only kills people somewhat. Like, you're just giving up ground like crazy. And the whole time, I'm just sitting there, like, waiting for the trap. Like, what is he luring me into by basically admitting he's wrong up front? And what makes you the clever tactician is there is no strategy. There is no trap. You just lay it all out there and hope I'll double guess myself and, like, I maybe take up your position. I don't know what's going on in your head, but it's terrifying. But thank you for agreeing with me that diet soda is basically poison. We're still there on the same page. And if it is, so if you're going to argue that regular soda is unhealthy because of obesity, and if you're going to argue that diet soda is unhealthy because of poison, why not just pick the killer drink that tastes better? Like, if they're both going to kill us anyway, why am I going to die by flat, tasteless diet soda when I can die by regular, full-bodied soda? Like, that's what makes America amazing right there. And that's why when you go to the fountain drinks at any fast food restaurant anywhere, there's always like one diet option and like 9 regular options, because the people have spoken. And by and large, they want the regular drinks. It's there for us. It's there for the taking. The numbers don't lie. And I'm sorry that you're going to an early grave with your terrible, tasting soft drink.
I don't think you are.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I will dance on your grave while drinking a full-bodied Coke. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enjoy every single calorie, and it's going to give me extra energy to keep on dancing.
All right. If you ever want James to stop talking, we're going to vote. And I got to say, it's Labor Day, and I'm a little drunk. So whatever I said before, I'm going to forget in just a few minutes when I go to bed and pass out anyhow. It has been happy hour all day at my wife and my favorite Mexican place, and we've been there for quite a while tonight. But James, roll the dice and tell people how they can vote for me.
Non sequitur, we need to do like a wrong and wronger drinking challenge. Maybe that's what this has been missing, is we're sober. If we were just both on here like, this is the debate we had after taking 4 shots. Go. And it's, man, we have been doing this all wrong. But here me coming up with brilliant ideas again on the fly. I didn't run this by Steve first, but all right, we're going to vote here. If you want to vote for me and calories and regular soda, vote for 82. If you want to vote for Steve and whatever he was talking about tonight, nobody knows, vote for 70. And if you want to throw your vote away, vote for 15.
All right. Frankly, nobody can figure out how to vote anyway, so it's kind of a moot point, which was the original name of this podcast.
Yes.
So if you want to vote for James and things that'll kill you slow over time and make people not want to be around you because you got to pay for that extra seat on the airplane, vote for 82. If you want to vote for Steve and shave off the last years of your life where you're going to be wearing a diaper and not knowing who's at your birthday party, vote for 70. If you want to throw away your vote, just keep watching the damn podcast. Until next week, this is Steve Lee. It was Dr. Steve talking for James, the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell, saying thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and remember, 2 wrongs can make a right.